So at the beginning of the month, I decided to do a day where I just read all day, and this was the first book I read. It's massive, it's really heavy. It's called Habibi by Craig Thompson. I really enjoyed this. I really liked the story. It was quite long and complex, but the author obviously has like a respect for Islamic culture. The art inside it is beautiful. I will say though, I didn't like the depictions of all the black characters. There's one character in particular called Hyacinth, who the depiction of that character is really not very good. It's very much a racial stereotype and not a positive one, and it made me feel quite uncomfortable. But the main characters of Didola and Zam are written really well, and the art inside is beautiful, and I love the world building. I also read Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones on this day. I loved the film and decided to get around to reading it. I really enjoyed the book. I really liked seeing what bits were kept in the film and what was different. It was just a really nice, easy little read, and I just really love this story. I'm definitely going to keep this book for a while. I think it's great. My next read was A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. I bought this a few years ago and I loved it when I read it then, and I've just wanted to reread it since watching Knock at the Cabin. I loved this. I really want to see this made into a film. Honestly, probably more of a series. I feel like it would do a really good series. I think this is a really fun take on the haunted house genre. I really love the family dynamics, and I think it's really scary. And I'm really glad I reread it. So this one ended up being a DNF for me this month. I just really couldn't get on with it. I don't think it's a bad book. I don't think the way it's written is bad at all. I actually really like the writing. I just couldn't get into it. But I am going to keep it, and I am going to try again at some point with it, because I do really want to read it. Last book I read in my reading day was Cannibals, Cults and Corpses, Tales from Exotic Places by Simon Proudman. I didn't actually like this book very much. The author is obviously a very well-researched, well-travelled man. However, I didn't really like a lot of these little stories. A lot of them felt like he was a Westerner being like, oh, look how strange these cultures are, look how weird they act compared to us Westerners, which I didn't like, and I wouldn't reread this, but I'm going to give it to a little library, free little library, and hopefully someone else would like it. So I've also finished George R.R. Martin's A Clash of Kins this month. I rated this 3 stars because I really struggled with it compared to Game of Thrones. I don't know, I've got a different, because I got this out of a charity shop, I've got a different print of it than my other books, and the text is really small, which I don't think helped. But also, I just really struggled with the story in this one compared to the first book. There was a lot I liked, but I don't like Bran's chapters. And honestly, even though I love Daenerys, I struggle with her chapters as well, and I think it's because it just feels so disjointed. But I am really looking forward to seeing where the 3rd book goes. In the UK, I think it's just the UK, but the 3rd and the 5th books are split into 2 physical books. So even though now I'm halfway through my reading challenge for the year, I still have 4 books to go through. So I might just take a break from this and then move on to a different book and come back to it in a couple months.